All right, I've got a few minutes here before I need to start making dinner, so I thought I'd at least try and get the front squat grips video made for you. So there's three different ways you can do this, whichever one works best for you. And one of them is not necessarily better than the other. I always use a clean grip, which is what you are attempting to do in your front squats. And if you can manage it, I certainly recommend that. In my experience, the other two are a little less stable. One of the important things to remember here is, just like the back squat, your hands and arms, or your hands are really just stabilizing the bar. You really shouldn't have any of the weight resting on your arms, on your hands and wrists. They're just there to keep the bar from wobbling back and forth. And there's actually a fourth way to do this that I'm not going to demonstrate, that involves using straps. It's basically a clean grip, but you don't get your hands all the way underneath the bar. You're instead holding on to straps. John Fung actually wrote an article about that for Photocracy, so if I can dig that out, I'll link it for you. I don't happen to have straps like that handy, so I can't demonstrate it. But like I said, there's three different ways you can do this. The simplest way is sometimes referred to as the zombie, or zombie front squat. So all you're going to do there is put your arms straight out in front of you, keep your hands high, because that'll keep your elbows up, and keep your upper arms at least parallel to the floor, if not higher. And you can see the bar will stay right there. The other way that you can do it is with crossed arms. So, I mean, you're going to end up like this once you rack the bar. And I've never really been able to do this. I find it to be pretty uncomfortable. I can't seem to get my arms up high enough when I do this. I know other people who are the exact opposite. They can get into this position really comfortably, and they can't do a clean grip to save their lives. But again, so I'm going to nestle the bar in there. And then this time, I'm going to cross my arms, and I'll just lay my fingers on top of the bar here. I'm not going to grab the bar. I'm just going to rest my fingers on it. And then the last one, like I said, the one that I prefer, is the actual clean grip. There's a couple different reasons that I prefer it. One, like I said, it to me is the most stable. I always feel like the bar is nice and strongly supported when I do a clean grip. And the other reason is that's the position that you end up in if you do a clean. I like doing cleans. I'm not terribly proficient at them. But if you don't have a rack to start out of, that's pretty much the only way to get into a front squat position. So it's best to master this. You do not want to end up holding the bar. Depending on your wrist mobility, how far you can bend your hand back, will determine pretty much how many fingers you can get on the bar. I think I usually end up with 2. And to some extent, if you're having trouble getting into this position, you can widen your hands a little bit, and that makes it a little bit easier. The angles are a little bit better for that, but you can't really go out too far with a front squat. So in this case, and what I'm doing, you'll see me look up. I'm really pressing the bar kind of back into my throat, but notice I can still talk. It's not cutting off my airway or anything. And then it's probably hard to see from the front, but when I lift my shoulders up, it kind of makes a divot right here in between my front delts and my clavicle and my upper pectoral muscles right here. And that's where the bar rests. And it's not terribly comfortable, but like a back squat, it shouldn't hurt. Now, like I said, the fourth one that I'm not going to demonstrate is essentially a clean grip like this, except you'll wrap lifting straps around the bar right here, and then you hold on to the straps. And so you end up like this, with your fists gripping the straps, and the straps are kind of supporting the bar instead. And like I said, if I can find that article that John wrote for Photocracy, I'll link that as well.